Hey guys, how's it going? Joe coming back with another NHL podcast here, talking about the Canes game 5 and the Avs game 4, right? I think 4. Okay, anyways, let's begin. So a couple transactions on in terms of scratches. Philip Cheadle is out, Rempe in, Brodzinski also out, so automatically hate the Rangers again because we love Cheadle, we hate Rempe. Um, so I'm obviously we want the Canes to win the series regardless. It would be really funny if the Rangers blew this. Also, President's Trophy, haha, funny moment. Um, so let's talk about the game. The Stahl line came out really buzzing, especially Jarvis, kind of thriving without the Aho line that I want him on. So it's kind of hit or miss there. Love to see him playing well, but I'd rather see that line back to fruition, and that ain't gonna happen if he's playing well on another line. Svech also looked really good on the Aho line. Alex Wenberg at one point got a clean pass right into the slot, and Svech didn't even allow him to take a shot attempt. He was right on there, just kind of in out of nowhere. He creates this great breakaway chance later for Gensel. Gensel again, not very good on a breakaway, but the Svech creating that chance all the way down from his own zone was very impressive. Svech was one of the only forwards for the Canes without a shot on net tonight. Nason as well did not have one. Um, but arguably their best player in terms of non-goal scorers. Um, and during the Canes power play, second period, score is still nothing. Aho trips and falls. He's had some rough moments this series. Truba gets it. It's a 2-on-1. Truba takes it right under the armpit of Anderson. 1-0 for the Rangers. Definitely a heartbreaking moment, especially while they are on the power play. Um, but what I was gonna say, the Rangers end up killing off the power play. However, um, they get it out of their own zone. Orlov takes control of it. This is the third now. I'm sorry. This is the third. And Stahl just has so much open ice in front of him. This is a very, very bad play by the Rangers. They easily could have had him covered, especially with two defensemen back in the zone and one that should have been on him in center ice. But no, Orlov sends it up for Stahl, who gets it in the back of the net. He does this great deking move where he goes around Shesterkin and then backhands it past his left pad. Shesterkin had no chance here. Beautiful, beautiful goal from Jordan Stahl, the captain. I think this was his first game goal of the playoffs. Then shortly after that, Brady Shea puts it on net, and Kuznetsov gets the rebound in. Shesterkin almost had it with the glove. That would have been a very, very impressive save with the glove. Honestly, would have given the Rangers a lot of momentum, in my opinion. Game-changing moment. But Kuznetsov beats him a little high with the puck. Why did we scratch Kuznetsov ever? It just still makes no sense to me now more so than ever. Clearly, he is a difference maker in these games. Um, then Martin Necas passes it from behind the net. Drury and Martinook are waiting there. Drury thinks about touching it. In fact, he does touch it up a little bit, but then he sees Martinook has a better chance. The selfless play, and we've seen a lot of selfless plays that work in or against the favor of the person committing the selfless play. We'll get to one later that kind of pissed me off. But because like I said, it's been such a you have an empty net. I'm gonna pass it kind of postseason for a lot of the players, especially like David and crap. But this was a great all you man from Drury. He trusts Martinook with it. Martinook well trusted, gets it in the back of the net. 3-1 Canes like that. Um, Rangers just showed up for 40 minutes. That's plain and simple. They didn't have, I think they had maybe 6 shots in the third, which is fine, but for a team that's trailing, not good enough. The Canes showed up for all 60 minutes. They just had a little hesitation on being able to find how to beat Shesterkin, and then they finally did. This is how you want to play in an elimination game, especially when you get down. Canes get down, they go to the locker room after 40 minutes, they come out swinging. So great job for the Canes. This is how you play like that. The series is going back to Raleigh, and damn, could you imagine? Could you imagine? We said it was going to be a great series, and it wasn't starting like that, but it could definitely turn into one if Game 6 is close. If Game 6 is the Rangers blowout, I'll still say not a very good series. But if it's close or if it goes to 7, then obviously great series we have going on here. But every forward for the Canes had 2 shots or more, except for obviously, like I said, Svech and Natchez. I'm sorry, Nason. Orlov, Slavin, Stahl, and Jarvis all had 3 blocks, which is pretty crazy. Truba, Fox, and Gustafson all had 4 blocks. Goodrow had 7 hits. Trocheck had 6. The Canes weak again at the face-off circle, 67% for the Rangers, but obviously that didn't have an outcome on the final score of the game. But yeah, it was a night for um, Carolina Hurricanes. Frederik Andersen played extremely well as well. He didn't have any like oh my goodness saves, at least that I can remember, other than like a breakaway or two. Which obviously we're gonna flex on those. But he did what he needed to. He stepped up. The one time that he got beat was an absolute snipe from Truba, short-handed on a 2-on-1. So we credit Anderson and Brent. Oh, Chekhov wouldn't let that in. Shut the fuck up, dude. Anderson is doing fine for you right now. Putting a loss on a goalie is just the easiest thing to do. And tonight, whether or not you win or lose that game, the loss is not on Anderson. But anyways, let's move on to the Colorado game. Val Nikushkin, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. It's so unfortunate. I love Nikushkin. You guys know that if you watch these videos. He's been their leading scorer in these playoffs, arguable best player. Um, Goes back in the player assistant, suspended 6 months. God knows what he did. Jack Johnson made a statement. He said, not the singer, the player. He said he made his own choices. So I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but obviously Nikushkin effed up, and it looks like his time in Colorado might be done. This is such a swing of pace in the last like 12, 16 hours, where he was on a roll in these playoffs going off. I don't know what it is about doing well in the playoffs that just makes this guy fall apart like that. He came back. He had a comeback story. I was literally saying the other day on this pod that he had a comeback story all written out for him, and he just blew it. So I'm very disappointed. One of my favorite players on the team. No, I'm sorry, my favorite player on the team. I really wanted to see him raise that cup again. If anyone for a repeat offender. But in terms of raising a cup, not a. Oh, that's kind of bad. But yeah, very unfortunate and a big loss for the Colorado Avalanche. And another thing that just didn't go right for the Avalanche tonight was Makar's play was terrible. So you got Makar playing horribly, and you got Noval Nikushkin, and you got a really deep blow to morale with the status of Val Nikushkin. Just set up disaster for the Colorado Avalanche. Yeah, Makar was -3. But let's talk about the game. Opening started fine. Manson had this great check on Stankoven, sent him flying going into the zone, tried to set the mood. Um, Sean Walker, however, we have not been a Sean Walker fan these playoffs. He's played very poorly. He turns it over to Jason Robertson. Georgiev's forced to make a quick glove save. Robertson would definitely like to have one of these days because he hasn't had one in, I think, since the first couple games of that very long Vegas series. Kale McCarr passes right to Marchman's tape. He was aiming for someone else clearly, but a giveaway from McCarr, and it's luckily for him the Marchman shot is really weak. Gorgiev's able to make a quick save on it, but yeah, not good at all. Pavelski had a great chance from behind the net, trying to go off of Gorgiev's back. If there's a big scramble in the front of the net, good try from Pavelski, and then more grade A chances. This time on the power play for Ben and Robertson, and even Sagan later in the power play. But I'm talking like the first 20 seconds. These are S tier stops for Gorgiev. Um, Robertson and Ben were both robbed like consecutively. Still nothing. And then they score off a Kale McCarr turnover. He's behind his net on the power play, and Wyatt Johnston just like, takes it from him. He strips him of the puck, gets it to Steele. Steele gets it back to Johnson, and Johnston scores. Um, I don't blame Gorgiev on this. I 100% blame Kale McCarr. This is something you can't allow to happen. You have a guy who's turning 21 today. Happy birthday, Wyatt Johnston. Go have a beer. Go have a beer, buddy. I wonder if it turned into his birthday during the game. That'd be really interesting. Um, but Johnston scores. You can't let a 20-year-old do that to you. This guy, this guy's going places. The fact that he's doing this crap in the playoffs, Wyatt Johnston, I think, has to be the most impressive player of these playoffs so far. Just the fact that he's able to do this, and none of us saw it coming. He's a rookie. It's crazy what he's doing. And in the dying seconds of, I think this is the first, Jamie Benn would have had a breakaway, but Josh Manson held him and goes flying into Georgiev. Big brawl. It ends up being a 4-on-4. I think it should have just been a maybe it was retaliation. I thought Manson should have just gone to the box, but nope. 4-on-4. Then second period starts, goes on, blah 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 blah. Dallas power play strikes. Robertson fakes a shot. It's incredible. I thought it was a shot. And it goes all the way down to Wyatt Johnston right in front of the net, and Johnston scores his second of the night. A shorthander and a power play for Wyatt Johnston the day before he turns 21. What a friggin' storyline for this kid. At this point, the shots are 23-4 for Dallas. So, I mean, the Avs don't deserve any of what they're not getting. I mean, it's kind of crazy that they're doing this to the Avalanche, especially if you remember my first pod about the Avs and the Jet series. I was saying Georgiev's going to lose them the series. He's the one. He is not the one losing them this series. He is the one to kind of keep them afloat. He's doing his job. He's holding his ground. He's not doing anything spectacular, but he's doing his job. No one else on the team is. Where has McKinnon been? Where has Rantanen really been? We've seen glimpses, but nothing real. Makar has fallen off a cliff. I feel like Taves and Manson are doing a decent job, especially Manson, but you need more from your big guys. Again, here we go with another Makar F up over here. Makar hits Robertson in the corner, which is all nice, but he allows him to make the play to Stankoven to Hiskinen, who just shoots it all the way in from the blue line. I think Georgiev should have had this 3-0 for the Stars, but again, it's Makar focusing on finishing a hit on Robertson instead of focusing on where that puck is and if Robertson's able to get to it. Because Robertson was still able to get to the puck. He should have played the puck, not the player. And then down the other end of the ice, let's talk about some actual offense for the Avalanche. Druin and Parisi, great forecheck for those guys. Parisi presses it up against the boards, and Druin gets a hold of it. Druin passes out to Middlestat, who's backpedaling. He was going to go in and help them out, but then he saw that Druin got it, and Middlestat scores. Druin an assist. I think this was Druin's first game of the playoffs, if I recall, so 1-for-1 on the assist, filling in that Nikushkin role. I mean, it's out of all the players to lose, Nikushkin is so painful, but I mean, the fact that Druin's coming in off the out of the press box. I mean, that's the kind of guy you want out of the press box. Great depth for the Colorado Avalanche. The fact that they're scratching a guy like Jonathan Drouin just goes to tell you that. And then Dodonov. So down the other end, Dodonov is like holding the puck, He's like on a 3-on-2, and he's holding, just sitting there. I'm like, what are you doing? Doesn't score. However, Hiskinen later shoots on Georgiev. I think this is like seconds later, maybe after a face-off, and the puck leaks, and Dodonov is racing towards it. Middlestat is racing towards it. Dodonov wins the race. He scores. Middlestat misses out. And then, what is it, 4-1? Obviously, it's the playoffs, so they do end up pulling Georgiev at one point. Wyatt Johnston is out there for the empty netter. He, however, does not get the friggin' empty netter. Goddamn, he passes it because he's got two guys in front of him for Sam Steele. Sam Steele, unfortunately, does not even look back to see if Wyatt Johnston is available, which I think would have been nice to see him, get a hat trick on his last day being underage in terms of drinking and gambling and crap. Just go have some shots after, But they did have like a little exchange after, so I'm not sure. I doubt Johnston's a guy to hold a grudge. But yeah, it was what the hell was I gonna say? It was a bad night to be an Avalanche fan. First, the news of Nikushkin, and then disappearance from your team. 16-2 shots in the first. Sounds like a Bruins game. Just unacceptable. We got 4 shots for Pavelski and Robertson. 8 shots from Wyatt Johnston. That's just absolutely blasphemous. I was really hoping, and that was early too. I was really hoping it would end up hitting double digits. It clearly did not. Oh, Thomas Harley with 5 blocks. Hiskinen, Robertson, and Duchesne with 4. Robertson with 4 hits. He had a couple good ones in there. Let's see the Avalanche numbers over here. 4 shots for Nathan MacKinnon, 4 shots for Josh Manson. Like I said, Manson isn't pissing me off. None of them are pissing me off because I want the damn Stars to win the series. But yeah, only 3 blocked shots from the forwards of the Avs. Just not collectively a good team tonight. 6 hits for Parisi, that's decent. Brandon Duhaime also 6 hits. Lehkonen, Kiviranta, and Rantanen also had 4 hits. Manson had 4 hits. But yeah, not a good collective night from the Colorado Avalanche. Even Georgiev fell apart at the end there, only had a 87 point, or I think it was like round up to 88. I'll give you an 88, Georgiev save percentage, but he was. I mean, one could only think if the Avs had showed up for this game and not done what they did, things would have been a little lighter for Georgiev, and it would have been a lot different situation. So I'm not putting any of this on him, and I am a grade A Georgiev hater. So there's that. Um, but yeah, that series is now 3-1 favoring Dallas, which beautiful by all means. Um, Tonight on the West Coast, we got the Canucks and the Oilers. We'll see if that series gets tied up at 2 or if the Canucks are able to pull out the same kind of lead. Obviously the Bruins and Panthers, I don't got much to say on that. But yeah, it's looking like it might be a wrap for the Avs this series. Also, I figured we'd go to 7. It doesn't unless there's a comeback in ensuing. It's not appearing to go that way. Morale is low. Their star players aren't being their star players, and one of them's in friggin' rehab. And the stars are just coming alive. You got Wyatt Johnston doing his thing. Jason Robertson with that sick assist. Obviously, he hasn't scored in a little bit. Doesn't need to. Um, the stars for the stars are just too bright for the Colorado Avalanche, and there's a lot of stars. Yeah, that was a good ending, huh? That's all I got to say for today. Thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow we mourn the Bruins, and I'll bring you that.